Videos are cool, but you know what's even cooler? An edited video. And do you know what's even cooler than that? A well edited video. So that's why I'm here showing you 10 of the best effects to use in Adobe Premiere Pro. 5 audio, 5 video. Let's jump straight in. Number 1 is zoom. Zoom is so important. It's not crucial, you don't have to use it, but I think you should. And that is because zoom is a great way to spice up your shots, and quite easy to do as well. If you want it for dramatic effect, it also works for that. But zoom is so good. If your video is just like this, especially if it's long form, it's gonna be boring. And the zoom pretty much prevents that. And it's already in every video. It's not even an effect really, it's pretty much pre-built in every video you have. And if you want to know how to use zoom, like everything I'll show you in this video, it will be down below in the description. Number 2 is denoise. It's boring. I can't get around that. Denoise is boring. All it does is get rid of background noise, but that is so important in making your videos sound good. You may not realize it, but having a good sounding video is so important for keeping retention. So just use denoise. Number 3 is Gaussian blur. Every single time I go to write this into Premiere Pro, I spell it wrong. But that has no effect on how good it is. On the surface, Gaussian blur seems like it's just a blur. But there is so much you can do with Gaussian blur. If you want to censor something, use Gaussian blur. If you want to defocus slightly, use Gaussian blur. If you want to make your lights glow that little bit more, use Gaussian blur. It is such a cool effect, and there are so many ways to utilize it, so you should be using it. Number 4 is another boring one, okay? It's really simple. It's fade in and fade out, and it's so important for music. If your music just randomly starts, it's not good, it's not smooth, you need to be using fade in and fade out, okay? Number 5 is Ultra Key. And for one reason, it is on this list. But it's a cool reason, so you should use it. Green screen. Ultra Key is the effect you use to do green screen. I don't need to say any more. Green screen, Ultra Key. Go use it. Number 6 is surround reverb. This isn't necessary at all. I'm going to be straightforward with you. It is not necessary. But it's cool, because if I want to sound like I'm in a large warehouse, I just do this. If I want to sound like I'm in a small warehouse, I just do this. In fact, I can make my voice sound like I'm anywhere, thanks to surround reverb. Number 7 is another simple one, but it's important, and it's dissolve. Just make your transitions better. That's all it does. Dissolving from one shot to the next makes it look better and just that little bit more professional. But don't overdo it, because if you use dissolves too much, you're kind of going to seem like you're doing a school presentation kind of thing. You've seen the video. But don't underestimate the power of dissolve. Number 8 is gain. You should be using this. Your gain on a video should be between 6 and 12 decibels. That's the perfect volume, and you adjust that through gain. So if you want to be really loud, or you want to be really quiet, you use gain. Number 9 is warp stabilizer. You probably won't need this. If you're any good at cinematography or recording, or you just have a tripod, you're not going to need this effect. But if you're shooting outside, the wind is blowing, warp stabilizer is going to be your best friend. All that warp stabilizer does is steady your shot. So if you have really shaky footage, use warp stabilizer, problem solved. It's a really, really good effect. Number 10 is my favorite by far. In fact, it's not even an effect, it's a tool, but I was gonna put it in just because of how much I love it. And that is the remix tool. Now, what the remix tool does is, well, in the name, it remixes your music. So if your music is too long for your video, you can cut it off. You can do that, but it won't sound great. You can add a fade out as well, as I talked about earlier on. but it still wasn't going to sound great. It seemed a bit disjointed. The remix tool, I don't know what it uses. I don't know if it's AI or whatever it uses, but it remixes that music for you so it naturally gets to the end. And it is so effective, and it makes your life that much easier. Well, that's all 10 of my personal favourite / necessary effects in Premiere Pro. Now, all I can say is go use them.